Hello from New Options New Mexico. This video describes how to search for a job. In each case, we always start at the home page, www.newoptionsnm.com. The home page has 6 blank areas that you can fill out. The top 3 describe what kind of job you want. The bottom 3 describe what kind of skills you have. The first thing you need to know is, if you leave any of the top rectangles blank, it means give me all of these. So if I leave the any job title or company blank, I'll get results that show all jobs and companies. If I leave the any city or zip code blank, I get all cities and zip codes in New Mexico. For the bottom rectangles, if you enter your WorkKey scores, or if you've already stored your WorkKey scores in your profile, your search results will come up with little red or green dots next to them indicating if you're matched to the job or not. If you don't enter your WorkKey scores, you'll still see all the jobs, but the helpful green and red dots won't be there. So as a first cut, I won't enter anything in the top blanks because I want to see all the jobs in New Mexico, a really nice long list of possibilities. But I will enter my WorkKey score so I'll be able to see which of those jobs are matched to me. Let's say my scores are 5 for reading for information, 4 for locating information, and 5 for applied math. Push Find Jobs. What comes up is a nice long list of jobs, alright, all the jobs in New Mexico, and oh my goodness, it's 34 pages of jobs. That's more than I really want to look through. Too much. Alright, at any point in time I can always go back to the home page, clicking on the upper left hand corner here, and redo my search a little differently. So this time I'm going to restrict the options a little by saying I want my job to be in Santa Fe, which is going to be close to where I live. And again, I'm going to have my WorkKey score 5 for 5. And when I do this, I'll get all jobs, but just in and around Santa Fe. Alright, now if I scroll to the bottom, I see this is page 1 of 7, so 7 pages of jobs in and around Santa Fe. Well, that's certainly a lot better. But what I really want is a summer job in Santa Fe. And unfortunately, it turns out that you can't put summer job in here and get to a list of summer jobs that way. So you don't go back to the home page if you want a summer job. You have to actually do it a little differently, which involves narrowing the results of your search. So we go to, on the search results page, this section called Narrow Results, go to Job Type, and we try to say we want just summer jobs, but there's no category called summer jobs. The categories that are closest to summer jobs include intern, temporary contract project, and there's another category that shows up sometime called seasonal. Each one of these 3 categories refers to a kind of job that lasts for a certain number of weeks or months but not forever. So this includes summer jobs, Christmas vacation jobs, internships, that kind of thing. Unfortunately, employers will randomly list their summer jobs in any of those 3 categories, so it's not straightforward and we have to investigate each one separately. I'm going to start by looking at the temporary contract project jobs because I can see there are 7 listings there. So I'll narrow my results by adding this. And you can see now the search says it's looking for jobs in Santa Fe and it's looking for jobs that are temporary contract project jobs in Santa Fe. So it's restricting it twice, once by location and once by type of job. Having restricted it this way, I can go down and see now I have 1 page of results, and all of these are some kind of temporary, last for a few weeks or a few months kinds of jobs. Looking at these, not so interesting, not so great, so maybe I will take that choice off and instead try looking in the intern category, so I'll add that. Now I'm looking for Santa Fe jobs that are described as internships. And I see one come up that looks pretty decent. I like the word virtual. Maybe it means I can work from home. And I like the fact that it's all green dots. That means my reading for information, locating information, and applied math scores are all sufficient to qualify for this job. I can also get to the detailed job description by clicking on the title of the job. If I do that, I come up with some information like, oh, this is a summer job. Cool, that's what I was looking for. And then there's a list of things that I would have to do in the job. And as I read through these, I realize, yeah, I could probably do most of these. Interestingly, what it doesn't say is it doesn't say I have to have a high school diploma. It doesn't say I have to have a certain number of years of experience. Those things could also be in this job description and might be requirements that would be listed in addition to having to have certain WorkKeys scores. But none of those things are listed, and so I am technically able to apply for this job. If I push the apply button, what will happen is it will actually take me to a page where it asks me to create an account. That's because you can't apply for a job until you create an account, and so you really need to see our second video where it describes how to create an account. So it'll just take you to a page that says create an account. Now there's one final thing I want to discuss, and that's the fact that as you go to the search results, let's go back to a search results page, you'll find that there are two kinds of job listings. There are jobs that will have this little WKF symbol next to them, and there are jobs that will have this M symbol next to them. The jobs that have the M symbol next to them indicate that these employers haven't really heard about WorkKeys yet. And so if you're applying for those jobs and you want to share your WorkKeys scores as evidence that you are actually capable of doing this job, you'll need to educate them a little. So for employers like this, when you apply to the job, when you talk to them in the interview, or when you're sending in your application package, if you're sending in your WorkKeys scores, you'll also want to send in a description of what those scores mean. And on this website, there's actually a handy dandy little thing under the home page. What is WorkKeys? Learn more. Print out a copy of this. You can include it in your package. You may also have separately a handout that shows what different scores mean for different tests. Some of you will be given that when you took the tests. That's another handy thing that you can include with your WorkKeys scores when talking to an employer that maybe hasn't heard about WorkKeys yet. So let's go back to the list of jobs. And that other symbol was a WKF symbol. That's next to some of the jobs. And in that case, these are employers who have heard about WorkKeys, who are probably using it, and will probably ask you for a copy of your scores. So again, have your scores ready. You'll need to do a lot less explaining in this case, and they may ask you for these scores at the interview or when you apply for the job. But that's it right now for New Options New Mexico. Happy hunting for a job, and don't forget to see our other videos on how to create your account and profile and how to actually apply for the job.